Okie dokie. Are we live? Are we doing this?
We're nearly live. We're nearly live.
Yes. Waiting for some people to join. Kyle, I'm going to leave it to you to let me know when I'm live and when I'm ready to start. Yes? Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Kyle.
I believe we're live.
Are we live? We're live. We're ready. Kyle's letting me know. Kyle, can you give me a big thumbs up? Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Good afternoon and welcome to Keep Cooking Daily. This is going to be a lovely 30-minute. Oh, can I see Jamie already? Is that Jamie?
Ah!
Oh!
Hello. There's a young boy here as well, eating his lunch.
Jamie and Buddy. How are we, guys?
Very, very good. Have you started already, Chef?
I was just starting, so this is perfect. Perfect timing.
Go for it, my friend. I will be here at the sidelines with young Buddy. He's just eating his lunch, so we're all ready for you.
What are you having for lunch, just out of interest?
Today he's had sausages, a chopped salad, little pitter pockets, and as I'm sure most parents watching, they're juggling homeschooling and lunch breaks, and it's a nightmare, but it's all good. It's all good. But I've told Buddy that you're cooking his meatballs.
I was going to say.
You're very impressed.
But it's amazing that Buddy's here with you, Jamie, because we're cooking Buddy's meatballs today. What I love about these is that they're warming, they're comforting, they're full of attitude, they're everything that you want from meatballs, but they're packed full of veg. So that's what we're doing today. Jamie, Buddy, shall I let you have your lunch and I'll kind of get going, and you just let me know when you want to interrupt me, when you want to chat?
Absolutely, mate. I'll keep tuning in, give my love to everyone, and as the days develop, you know, me, you, and the team, we're gonna have lots of fun doing this.
Oh yeah.
Throughout the weeks while we're still in lockdown, trying to be helpful to all of the parents out there and people that love simple food, tasty food, and there's still a lot of people nervous about things. And I think food is one of those things that can really make people get in control and feel there's a bit of routine, and also love themselves a little bit with really tasty food. So Jack, I know you're going to keep it real, brother. Over to you, and I'll tune in back later.
I'll see you soon. Jamie, Buddy.
Bye, mate.
See you soon. Enjoy your lunch. Thanks, guys. See you. Bye-bye. And a big hello to everyone else. If you're joining, I'm sorry if we're a little bit late, if we're a little bit early, but I hope for some of you we're on time. A big welcome to Keep Cooking Daily. What are we doing? Well, look, I'm Jack. I am the head chef of Jamie's Cookery School, and times are a little bit different at the moment. So what Jamie's asked us to do is to basically do what we do every day, to give you a bit of inspiration, to give you a bit of love, to try and be useful, to try and be relevant, and to help you out in the kitchen. So these daily kind of cook-alongs or cooking togethers are basically just for you to let us know how we can help you. What kind of recipes do you think you need help with? What kind of ingredients are you unsure how to use? What do you want to cook more of or swap out more of? It's up to you. So look, you can get involved in the comments below, write what you'd like to see more of next time, what you'd like to see more of just now. We've got people manning the comments, they'll be getting back to you. Please guys, the more people getting involved, the better. And if you'd like to share this with someone who might be interested, please do share it with them. We want to reach and connect with as many people as we can. And as Jamie said, try and make our kitchen lives a little bit happier, and try and make our meals a bit tastier or healthier, and just give us all a little bit of love through the therapy, the best therapy in the world, that is cooking. So that's what we'll be doing every day, same time, probably, same place, definitely. Keep Cooking Daily. So what's on the menu today? As we said earlier, it's Buddy's Meatballs. And I love these. They are everything that you want from a meatballs. They are full of love, full of attitudes, but these ones are also full of veg. So we're going to start straight up by making our veg-packed meatballs. Then we'll start cooking them with some pasta next to it. And finally, we'll bring a sauce, and the sauce will kind of bring the meatballs together with the pasta, and it's going to be delicious. Now, before I start, very, very quickly, there's two other people right well behind the cameras today that you'll be hearing their voice. They'll be keeping me occupied and basically telling me what I'm doing wrong and when. And they are, let's start with Hugo. Hugo, hello.
Hi, guys.
Hugo is a big part of Jamie's food team and is here with me today to help me out, to have a little chat. And I've also got Kyle. Hello, Kyle.
Hey.
Kyle is our producer today, our chief executive producer. So if you hear one voice, another voice, it's either Hugo or Kyle. Let's get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to...
quickly, Jack, we've got loads of people. We've got thousands of people joining in from all over the world. I've seen Canada, Singapore, Australia, all over the place. It's going really well.
Fantastic. I'm so glad. And you know what? I don't mean to plug, and I'm not, but we're running our Jamie Oliver Cookery School at the moment exclusively online all the time, about 25, 30 lessons every week, and we have people from everywhere. We touch almost every continent in each lesson. So it's lovely to have you here, guys. Give us a share, let us know what you want to see, and in the meantime, I'm going to start cooking. The first step is to get our vegetables and to cram them into our meatballs. Now, you can use any vegetables that you like. Today, I'm using 4. I'm using an onion, a courgette, a bit of mushrooms, and 2 cloves of garlic as well. And the easiest way to do this is just to get grating. Just to get grating. You could use a food processor if you liked, if you preferred. If you fancy some knife skills, you can use your knife. But today, we're just going to use our trusted grater. So I'm going to grate through my onion, grate, or perhaps chop my mushrooms, grate my courgette, and my garlic, and that's it. Nice and simple, nice and straightforward. Now, I should say, grating onion is a little bit of a tricky job. It can make you cry. You know what? Everyone asks me at the school, say, how do you best avoid onion making you cry? It's the one thing, you know, that I don't have a tip for. The 2 things I can tell you is to wear goggles, that helps, or get someone else to do it. Hugo, do you have any tips?
I think this is a great time to talk about what veg you could swap in. If you haven't got these veg, but you want to make this recipe, leek instead of onion, you could add carrot instead of courgette, anything like that. Make it your own.
Absolutely. Anything that you like. You could use fennel, you could use celery, you could use cauliflower, broccoli, anything that you like, anything that you have. You can grate them up, fry them up, and get them into the meatballs. Next up, it's my trusted friend, courgette. And back to the onion. Does anyone here, Kyle or Hugo, do you have any tips on how you avoid onions making you?
I've had teaspoon in the mouth.
Teaspoon in the mouth?
Well, I mean, I've done it. I just think it distracted me. That's why I wasn't trying. Just to let everybody know as well, the recipe for this is available in the comments.
Oh, thank you, Kyle. Thank you so much, Kyle. And keep those comments, keep those questions, keep letting us know how we can support, we can help you in the comments. Thank you, guys. Now, next up, it's my mushrooms. Now, you can grate your mushrooms, just if you like. I'm using about 5 or 6 kind of chestnut mushrooms. Whatever you've got works great. Button mushrooms, some king oysters, some shiitake, anything you like. And I'm grating them all into here. And it's kind of at this point where you start to realize just how much veg we're packing into this sauce. We've got our courgette, we've got our onion, we've got our mushrooms, and we're about to add 2 cloves of garlic. It's a lot. It's a lot. For those of you just joining us, hello. My name's Jack. I'm the head chef of Jamie's Cookery School, and I'm making a huge mess. I'm the head chef of Jamie's Cookery School, and what we're doing today, this is Keep Cooking Daily, and we just want to be here for you once a day to give you some tips, some tricks in the kitchen, give you a bit of inspiration, make your life easier, make your meals healthier, make your meals tastier, give you a bit of love, or give yourself a bit of love. That's what we're here to do. So anything that you want support on, let us know. Thanks, guys. And that is my 3 veg grated. Made a bit of a mess. In here, I've got 1 onion, I've got 1 courgette, and I've got a few button mushrooms just in here. And it's packed to the top. And as Hugo has said, he's completely right, you can use anything that you like. I'm gonna finish this off on the small side with a little bit of garlic, 2 cloves, and then we're done. Lovely stuff, that's 1. Garlic is particularly sweet, has a lot of sugar in it. You'll find that as you grate it, it gets a little bit sticky. We'll give our hands a wash once we're, oh, hello. See what I was meaning about sticky? We'll give our hands a wash once we're done. And that is a grater packed full of vegetables. This recipe that I'm giving you today, it feeds 6 people. And yeah, lots of veg. And we've got more veg to come. I'm gonna give my hands a very quick wash, and then we're gonna start sweating down and frying these lovely vegetables. Why are we doing that? There's 2 reasons that come to my mind. Hugo or Kyle might want to add a few more. First of all, we're softening them and getting them a little bit sweeter, which is no bad thing. Crucially for me, we're trying to get rid of the excess water in those mushrooms, in those courgettes, in the onion, so that they're more compact, they're more intense in flavor when you add them to your beef, to your pork, or to whatever you're using. Okay, and we'll talk about, if you're going veggies today, amazing. We'll talk about veggie swaps in a moment. For now, I'm going to take this hugely full and compact grater of veg, and I'm going to add it into my pan, which I've just turned to a high heat, and I'm adding a tablespoon of olive oil. Very, very nice. Now, in they come. You'll hear a gentle sizzle. It's lovely stuff. And even though I'm using a nice big pan, you'll note it's a lot of veg. But this is why we're going to fry this medium-high heat or so for about 10 minutes, because we want to soften these down. We want to sweeten them, and we want to intensify them by reducing the liquid, getting that out of there, and keeping the nutrients, keeping the flavor, and making it nice and intense. So you're going to want to cook this for about 10 minutes or so. You don't need color, you don't need to worry about that. Just sweaten it down, sweeten them, and get them nice and tasty. In the meantime, let's have a chat about the other ingredients that are going into our lovely meatballs. And of course, we'll start with the heart and the soul. It is my meats. I've got 250 grams of pork just here and 250 grams of beef. And now's a good time to talk about swaps in or out if you're going veggie. Hugo, why don't you start me off? If you were going veggie, what would you replace the pork and the beef with?
You could use your favourite plant-based mince.
Lovely.
You could use lentils, two 400-gram tins of lentils, drained. You could use directly in place of this quantity of meat. Or, yeah, as I said before, your favourite plant-based mince will work perfectly well.
Amazing. I love it. And any other swap-ins or swap-outs that you'd like to know about, team, please do let us know in those comments. So I've got my 250 grams of pork, 250 grams of beef. You could also use chicken, mince.
Yep, and you can just use pork or just beef. Another great thing is you've used half of each here, so you can just wrap up what you have left. If you bought 2, 4, or 500-gram packets, have it in the freezer, and you're ready to make another batch of meatballs.
Completely agree. And this is it. This is why we're here today. This, I know, is very true to Jamie. It's true to us at the school, is that recipes, they're there to help you, right, and to support you, but treat them as a guide. If there's things that you have more of or less of or like more of or dislike more of, that's what you should be using. Using a little bit. Basically, when you're in the kitchen, you're the head chef and you're the customer as well. So make this recipe, adjust it to how you like. In here, I have my pork, my beef, and I'm going to add a handful of wholemeal breadcrumbs. About a handful of wholemeal breadcrumbs. This is just a stale loaf of wholemeal bread that I've blitzed in a blender, and it's given me these lovely breadcrumbs. If you ever have leftovers of these, like I do just now, you can freeze them really well. They freeze really well for the next time you're making your meatballs or whatever. Now, next up, I'm going to add 1 egg. 1 egg. The breadcrumbs and the egg, they're here to bind. They're here to bind our meatballs together. So our meat, our breadcrumbs, 1 egg, and finally, 50 grams, I was about to say 250 grams, I wish, 50 grams of Parmesan. Let's give my veg a little bit of love. Now we're going to grate almost all the Parmesan in, and we'll leave a little bit for garnish at the end. The Parmesan here, it adds a depth of flavor. It's kind of natural seasoning. And it adds a really nice depth of flavor. So when we do add salt, we've got to be mindful that we have Parmesan in here. It's naturally full of umami. It's naturally savory and salty. So we need to pare back the salt somewhere else. Do I have a question from Carl? You're just scratching your head, buddy.
I'm just want to let everybody know,
Yes.
People are asking, that we are following all COVID regulations that we need to. Everybody is socially distant and kept to a minimum, just in case anyone was wondering about that.
Thank you, Carl.
I've spotted a lot of people watching from all over the place. We've had India, we've had Ghana, we've had South Africa.
Welcome.
And we've had the fantastic city of Liverpool as well from Maureen.
Amazing. Guys, thank you so much for joining. I hope you're finding today a little bit entertaining, a little bit inspiring, a little bit educational. And if there's something we can help you with, get it in those comments. We're here to help for the long run. Now, back to the vegetables. That's the last thing that we need to add into our bowl. And they take 10 minutes, right? But what's crucial is that you don't just cook them and add them to your meatballs, but you let them cool. You let them cool before you add them to your meat. And that, I've been busy this morning, that's what I've done just here. And look how much these vegetables, just after 10 minutes of sweating down, have kind of reduced and become more intense, more rich in flavor. I've let it cool. That's a really important step. And I'm adding it as the final ingredient into my mix. And then it's time to make sure your hands are washed and clean. I'll give them one last wash. And to get dirty, get involved, get your hands dirty, sorry, get involved, and make our 24 meatballs. Super duper. Kyle, how are you? You happy?
Good. I've got a question from Lisa. She's just asked about Parmesan. She said she's dairy-free. Is there an alternative that we could use in the
You can get a lactose-free or a vegan hard cheese. Works really well. Otherwise, one of the main things that Parmesan is doing is seasoning the meatballs. So perhaps just a tiny pinch extra salt would also work just as well.
Totally. Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Very nice. Thank you for that question. Now I'm giving these a nice old bind, and we're going to make 24 meatballs. And the key thing with these is that they're nice and compact. Of course, once they're made, we'll leave them in the fridge or just to kind of set a little bit, but we want to make them nice and compact. If you're going to make 24 meatballs out of this mix, you'll need to make them the size about of a small golf ball, so something like this. And you can see I'm kind of using both my hands to keep them nice and compact. And whenever you're done, get them onto a plate or a line tray out the way and keep going. This is a great thing to do when you need a bit of food therapy and kind of just want to get lost in your food. It's a great thing to do as a family. Get the little ones involved, get them making the meatballs as well. And it's one of the reasons I love cooking. Yes, you're in charge and you can control your meal. Yes, you can make things healthier. Yes, you can make things tastier. It's also a great activity just to keep you busy and occupied. Kyle, what is on your mind, my friend?
So lots of people are asking that you're not Jamie. And
no.
Also, some people have said that Buddy has shot up. So seemingly you've got a bit of similarity, if quite a lot taller.
My body is shot up. I understand. Yes.
Could you tell us who you are, Jack?
That's a good question. I often wonder. I have been wondering since we started. So yes, I'm Jack. Nice to meet all of you. Thank you for joining. I'm the head chef of Jamie's Cookery School. We obviously run cooking lessons. I have worked with Jamie for years on his schools. Of course, naturally, we're used to in-person lessons right here, and we look forward to welcoming you back. But at the moment, and since August, we're running online lessons, and they are a complete dream. I'm not going to go into too much detail now because I want to concentrate on our food, but the online lessons, they're so interactive. You wouldn't believe it. And they're a great experience, great fun. We learn a lot. We have an amazing piece of food at the end. They're great. Anyway, that's who I am. I'm going to put these meatballs to the side, and I can see Hugo's waving at me. What's up, Hugo?
So, Jack, just a quick one on portion size. This is a recipe for 6, so it can feed a big family. And if you want to make sure all your balls are the same size, so they cook evenly when they're in that really nice tomato sauce, split your mixture into 6, cut each portion into 4, and you're going to have 24 meatballs.
This is why Hugo's here. A lot more forward thinking than I've got. Splitting them up is going to guarantee you, yes, exactly, even size meatballs, and make sure that you're not running out towards the end. So I'm not going to bore you by making all 24. It's been a busy day for me today, and I have 24 already made just here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these cooking straight up. I'm turning my pan to a nice high heat, and the key for this step is to get these meatballs nice and caramelized. Once they're in the pan, once they're cooking, we're going to move on to wholemeal pasta, talk about that, get cooking it, as well as starting the beginnings of our beautiful yet elegant and simple sauce. And then we're done. So nice hot pan, and we'll go in with a tablespoon of oil and then start cooking them. And I should say, I said at the beginning, you can refrigerate these meatballs, or you should refrigerate these meatballs to firm them up. And you can also put them in the freezer, can't you, Hugo? To kind of portion them up, put them in the freezer, and they'll be a lot quicker.
Yeah, definitely. And when you are shaping them, sometimes depending on what veg you've used, it might be a little bit wetter than other times. If you just dampen your hands a tiny bit, it'll make them much easier to shape.
Great idea. Great idea. Now, this recipe works great for these meatballs, but you could basically use it as inspiration for a ragu or for bolognese, right? Instead of just browning mince and onion, get those veg in first, the courgette, the mushrooms, the garlic, whatever you're using, then add your mince. So yes, this is great for meatballs, but it kind of works for, a bolognese, a ragu, something like that. Here we go. Last one. In we go. Nice high heat. Let's do this properly. It will take about 5 minutes to get some lovely color. Because I've been touching the meat, I'm just going to wash my hands nice and thoroughly again. And then we can start talking pasta. Kyle, how are you? How is everyone? Everyone okay?
Everyone's good. There's a lot of love for you, Jack. Everyone's loving your style.
A lot of love back.
And a lot of people talking about the cookery school as well, saying how great it's been during the last year.
Oh, that means so much. That really does. I would love to see you here for our 2-hour classes. That means a lot. Fantastic. Now, pasta. Today, we're going to use wholemeal pasta. Why? Because, well, a few reasons. When you can find times to get wholemeal into your diet, that's a good thing. Why? Because it's got more fiber. And why is fiber good for us? It just helps with our digestion. Plus, it's got, I don't know, there's something about wholemeal. It's got more body to it at times. It's got more flavor. So whether it's wholemeal rice, wholemeal pasta, wholemeal bread, that is a nice thing to introduce to your diet when you can. Now I'm going to try and open this packet of pasta without looking like a fool. And I'm just going to take 75 grams. Just going to take 75 grams, a portion just for me today. Keeping it real. You could cook 400 grams of pasta. It's about amount for 6 people, and mix it all in with these meatballs and the sauce later on. But today I'm just going to use my 75 grams of pasta, and I'm going to get that in my water straight away. My water is on a nice, strong, rolling boil, and I'm going to add a generous pinch of salt as well, just to lightly season the pasta. I know it feels like a lot of salt, a big pinch, but it will only lightly season your pasta. So whenever your water is on a high heat and on a rolling boil, give it a nice little twist, drop it in, and let it sink down to the bottom. How long will that take to cook? I don't know. Read the packet instructions, cook it for a bit less, make sure you try it. Tasting it is the best way to tell.
Sounds like your meatballs need a turn, chef.
Thank you. So it does, doesn't it? It does it. Thank you, Hugo. So I'm going to take some tongs. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, Hugo, you have like a sixth sense about this sort of thing.
I try my best.
They're perfect.
While we're waiting on that, we've had a
Yes,
couple
chef.
of questions about alternatives as well in the meatballs. So about getting breadcrumbs if you haven't got a food processor. Some people have suggested stale bread and a grater. But also questions about if there's an alternative for egg, if there's an allergy.
If there's an egg, what I would do is, if you can't have an egg, again, as I said before, if you're using different vegetables, mix it all together without the egg, see how it feels. You can add a dash of water or a drizzle of oil that will help bind it as well. And as Jack mentioned before, that 10 minutes in the fridge, once you've shaped them, really helps them firm up. So minus the egg, a drizzle of oil or a splash of water, you should be set.
Fantastic. How do we feel about the bread and the grater?
I love it. I love it. I love that you're all getting your comments involved. You've got solutions. There's so many solutions that us chefs, we're never going to know. You at home are going to find solutions quicker than us at times. And I love the fact that you're sharing it. Thank you. It's a great idea. It's a great idea. Okay, pasta. It's been in for a minute. It has about 6 minutes more, and then I'm going to try it. Meatballs. Doing fine. I just want color all around. About 3 more minutes until I'm happy with their color. That means I've got about 3 minutes to look at our sauce. Not much time, I know, but we only need 2 ingredients. 2 cloves of garlic and about 600 mils of passata. Super duper, nice and simple. Now, I was going to show you a super incredible trick to peel your garlic. I'll show you that next time. How about that? Nice little teaser, or sometime soon. For now, I've got mine peeled. I had a bit of time this morning. And I'm just going to give these a fine slice. And if you prefer not to use your knife, you do you. It's your kitchen. You're the chef. You're in charge. You can use a grater. You can use a garlic press. Whatever you're most comfortable with. I feel you make the best, most tasty food when you're comfortable, when you're relaxed, focused, but comfortable. So there we go. A nice kind of rough slice of my 2 cloves of garlic. Easy peasy so far. The only other ingredient I'll need is my passata. And how is this going to work? I'll get the color that I'm looking for on my meatballs all the way around. I'll add the garlic, I'll add the passata, and then I'll cook it for 30 minutes. A really important step. But that's it. It's that simple. We're doing great. We're doing very, very well. Fantastic. Hugo, you're waving your hand at me. What's up, my friend?
Just a note on the passata, Jack. Tinned tomatoes, also great, or whole plum tinned tomatoes, as Jamie normally uses.
Absolutely. Go on.
If you've got a food processor, you can blitz them up and use them just as you would here. But otherwise, whole, break them up with a spoon. And actually, minus the meatballs, this is one of my favourite pasta sauces. Just garlic, olive oil, salt, pepper, and some good quality passata.
It's that simple, isn't it? It's that simple. And could you add any dried herbs if you wanted to?
Dried oregano, dried rosemary, dried thyme. It's a great idea.
Love it. Fantastic. This is why I love cooking, right? It's about making things your own. Taking a recipe, using it as your guide, but doing you and making it how you like it. So, we're looking great. We're very nearly there, team. I want to make sure that my meatballs are coloured on all over. Why is that important? You're getting extra caramelization and you're kind of intensifying the flavor of the meatball. So we want to make sure that's there. And of course, I want to make sure that my pasta is cooked. It's got about 3 or 4 more minutes on it as well. The best way to try when your pasta is cooked, by the way, don't be throwing your pasta across the kitchen. Don't be throwing it on the ceiling. You'll never get it back. Taste it. Tasting it is the best way, I promise you. Taste it. Make sure it's just a tiny bit underdone, just a tiny bit to your liking. And then get it into your saucepan. Super duper. Kyle, how are you doing, my friend?
Very
happy.
Very good. It's looking great.
How's it smelling?
Smells really, really good, man.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Jack, have you got any tips for stopping pasta sticking together when you boil it? I know people often have a problem with that.
It's a great question. Thank you, Hugo. So first of all, you want a rolling boil. That will help. Second of all, if you can distribute the pasta, kind of when it's spaghetti, it's particularly hard. So distributing it with that little swivel, that can help. Oil doesn't really help in the water, I'm afraid. But if you are draining your pasta and you're finding it sitting kind of in your kitchen for whatever reason, a bit of oil at that point can help prevent it from sticking together. Excellent. And you could use any pasta, guys. You could use any pasta. Any dried pasta that you could find is going to work great. Okie dokes, my meatballs are very nearly done. Where did I put my hello? And once they're very nearly done, which I think they are, I'm going to add my garlic and my tomatoes. I'm trying to be gentle with my meatballs, but I also don't want them to break apart. If they break apart, it's no problem.
Some people are saying they look a bit overdone. I think they look fine here. It's just in the studio and on the cameras, it might look a little bit overdone, but they look great here.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you. Okay, it's time to add our garlic. I'm making sure I'm on a medium-high heat now so my garlic doesn't burn. Try and find some space between all the meatballs.
Just a note on that colour on the meatballs, Jack.
Yeah.
Anything you're doing like this, where you're cooking something first and then adding liquid, if you're doing a braise or a stew or anything like that, all of that colour is going to be dulled down as soon as you add the liquid. So you want to make sure they're nice and sealed and they're not just going to go soft when you add the sauce.
It's very true.
That's just flavour. That's all caramelisation. That's going to add to the sauce. The sauce is going to add to the meatballs. It's going to be a wonderful thing.
I love it. Thank you, Hugo. I'm very excited. Garlic's gone in. I'm now going to add my 600 mils of passata. And as Hugo says, you can add anything. Chopped tomatoes, plum tomatoes. Could you use fresh tomatoes, Hugo?
A handful of cherry tomatoes, 300 grams of cherry tomatoes, something like that. Cooking with the meatballs, they'd soften down. That would be a really good sauce.
Okay. We're in. Now, look at these. I want these to all come together and cook for 30 minutes. Why am I cooking these for 30 minutes? A few reasons. First of all, I want to make sure that my meatballs are thoroughly cooked. But secondly, the meatballs are going to flavor the sauce. The sauce is going to flavor the meatballs, and it's all going to come together a little bit. So, on a low heat, and if you want, with a lid on, gently simmer the meatballs for 30 minutes. Now, I'm not going to keep you waiting for 30 minutes. I have been super busy this morning, incredibly busy, and I've made some earlier. It's kind of like a nice Blue Peter moment, which I'm very proud of. Here's some I made earlier. All I've done is I've done exactly the same thing, but I've been cooking them for about 30 minutes. They've been simmering gently. They're nice and steamy, as you can see. And they are looking sublime, absolutely sublime. So when your meatballs are happy, your pasta should be ready. Best way to tell, give it a try. Take a strand and taste it. by complete luck, a complete fluke, is perfect, completely perfect. So I'm going to drain my pasta. It's a little bit al dente, a little bit of bite in it, which is just how I like it. I'm going to drain my pasta and then serve myself up a plate for one. Romantic lunch for one. How about that? Okie dokes. There we are. There's my pasta, super stuff. Now let's find myself a serving plate. I'm going to serve up and then I'm going to wish you all the best.
And Jack, one last note. Anyone, any parent especially trying to get extra veg into their children's diet.
Yeah.
Here you can add a handful of frozen peas or sweet corn, toss it through the sauce, and it's going to be a wonderful thing.
Great idea. We don't use our freezer enough, in my opinion. It's kind of underused. Yeah, frozen peas, they're like little pockets of joy, pockets of sweetness that are just always there for you. All right, here's a little bit of spaghetti, all done. I need to add my meatballs, and then finally, I need to add a little grating of Parmesan. We have 4 meatballs each for this portion, for these incredible Buddies meatballs. Not going to take a 5th. Try and resist the temptation. A bit of extra sauce. Here we are, like so. If you find that your pasta's sticking together a little bit, as I said earlier, you can add a dash of oil. And then we need a little drizzle, a little sprinkle, I should say.
Jack, we have a guest.
Go on, Jack.
Oh, Jamie!
Look at that, mate. That's looking good. Look at that. Go on, give us a close-up. That looks yummy.
Here we are. This is it. This is for you. In spirit.
Buddy, come look at this. Come and give Jack your marks out of 10.
Ah, yes, Buddy. Buddy, what do you think, my friend? Where's Buddy?
Buddy's on lunch break. Dad's working from home today. Come and have a look at Jack's Buddy meatballs.
It's not quite as good as yours, Buddies, but it's almost there. Here we are.
It looks so nice.
That looks so nice. And hot and steamy as well. But that's just the perfect comfort food, isn't it, Jack?
It is. It's comfort food with a lot of veg packed in. It's incredible. It really is.
And I think, like, you don't only just get the flavour from the veg, you get to pad out the meat, so you're saving money. Meat's always the most expensive part, isn't it? Even if it's cheap cuts of meat like mincemeat, but also you're getting all that lovely sweetness, aren't you, from the vegetables and the nutrition. So it's a bit of a triple whammy, really, isn't it?
Couldn't agree more. More depth, more complexity. It is delicious. It's delicious. It's really one of my favorites. Easy to freeze, a lot healthier, really tasty. Great to do as a family, making those meatballs as a team as well. It's like 10 out of 10. I love it.
And do you know what, though, Jack? There's a fine line between a beautiful meatball and then a little burger patty and then a meatloaf. So you've actually got 3 recipes in one there, haven't you? And that tomato sauce will be great for all of them.
It's true. And actually, Hugh and I, we were talking about this could be like a bolognese if you wanted to be. If you followed a similar approach, it's kind of like a deconstructed meatball, but in bolognese form.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think like what's interesting about the recipe and what we're tapping into here is in the old days, I'm going back 100 years, 200 years, this idea of using lots more legumes or beans or lentils or vegetables and padding out meat, that was completely standard, completely normal. Why? Because meat was so hard to get hold of. And of course, you get the flavor and you get the nutrition. So it's really, really good one. How did the class go? Were people asking good questions?
We had some incredible questions. We've somehow had people joining from all over the world. We've had people talking about the cookery school, giving each other ideas about what to swap, what to use, what to not. Everyone's kind of been pulling together, talking together to kind of, give each other a bit of love, as you said at the beginning.
Thank you, mate. Well, listen, Bud's about to go back to school now, and I'm about to start working now. I'll be back in the office next week, and I'll be helping and contributing with the daily, Keep Cooking Daily. For now, Jack, thank you so much for representing and doing your magic. I'll love you and leave you.
It's a pleasure. I'll love you and leave you. Good luck, buddy. Good luck, Jamie. Have lovely days. Thank you for the meatballs, and I'll see you both very soon.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, buddy. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Carl, do you have a question?
Just quickly to say, we'd love to see if people are cooking along. So if they can use the hashtag #KeepCookingDaily, we'd really appreciate seeing what everyone's up to.
Hashtag #KeepCookingDaily. Excellent. Guys, thank you for joining us today. We're here to help, to give you a bit of support, a bit of inspiration, a bit of love all around the world of food. We'll be here every weekday, and I'd love to see you. I love that you're getting involved. We'd love to see your pictures on hashtag keep cooking daily. Thank you so much. Enjoy these meatballs, and I will see you same time, same place tomorrow. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Mwah. Love you lots. Goodbye.